Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right? That was a nice one. Okay. I'm out here. Uh-oh, Richard.
What's the matter? You some kind of girl or something?
Hello everyone, this is PK Entertainment and we are back again, and here now we have another video for you, and we're going to talk about the 2002 Oscars, go over the main award wins and other noteworthy moments throughout what was overall the 94th staging of the annual event. Now I won't go over the full entire list of winners, but I will leave a link within the description if you want to view exactly who won within the respective categories. So we then have to start with what was without question the most controversial moment, and that was of course surrounding Will Smith slapping Chris Rock live on air, shocking all of the entire audience and viewers. Now what happened here was that Chris Rock was hosting, I believe, the Oscar for the best documentary, and he was giving his regular comedy shtick, talking about married couples at the Oscars, and here he was referring to Javier Bardem and Penelope Cruz, who were both nominated within their respective fields. And here he was stating that if Penelope Cruz didn't win her award, then Javier Bardem was praying that he didn't win, suggesting very much so that it would cause some sort of fraction between the relationship if Javier won and Penelope didn't. So he was stating that Javier was praying that Will Smith would win, who was also nominated for the award. So in the beginning this was all very jovial, very light-hearted and good-spirited, everybody was laughing away, no problems. But shortly after that, Chris then remarked to Jada Pinkett Smith, who we all know is long time married to Will, stating that he couldn't wait to see her starring in G.I. Jane 2. Now for anybody who wants some context here, Jada Pinkett Smith has been suffering for a long time now from a condition known as alopecia, which is basically an illness of hair loss and baldness. Now for anybody who doesn't know, the first G.I. Jane movie came out way back in 1997, starring Demi Moore and was directed by Ridley Scott, and it was the story of a female who was recruited into the Navy SEALs alongside her male counterparts. Now for the role, Demi Moore had her head shaven, so this was very much used on all of the poster and promotional material. So this was the connection that Chris was making, basically that because G.I. Jane had her head shaven, and because Jada Pinkett Smith has her hair loss condition, that she could very much indeed star in G.I. Jane 2. So in my personal opinion, the joke was very much in poor taste, and you can see from the reaction it got a very mixed reception when Chris told the joke. Shortly after, Will then proceeded to walk up to Chris and slap him, telling him to keep his wife's name out of his mouth. So of course when this happened, social media went completely ablaze with all reactions, and overall the general consensus was split. There was some supporting Will Smith, saying that he was right to defend his wife's honour in many ways. There were others who were stating that Will disgraced himself and that it reflected badly on himself and the Oscars as well. They also stated that it very much tainted what should have been the biggest night of Will Smith's career, as he later on went on to receive the award for Best Actor for his performance in King Richard. This was the movie where he played the real life figure of Richard Williams, who was the father of tennis icons Venus and Serena. Now there are others who believe the whole event was staged. As we all know, the Oscars for a long time has seen a severe decline in ratings and relevancy amongst fans and audiences. So many feel that this was a PR stunt in order to try and generate lots of traction and attention for the event. Now for me, in my personal opinion, I'm going to go with the third option here. I think the whole thing was completely staged. It clearly was. You have to remember that when they construct and they build all of these events, they have to go through several rehearsals and learn several scripts throughout the awards. Now yes, you may get some random events during the live broadcast, but in general everything is severely rehearsed and gone through several times over before they screen live on air. So overall the Academy would have been well aware of the jokes that Chris was going to say when hosting this award, and in all likelihood Will would have been aware, and also Jada would have been aware as well. Also the fact that Will was able to walk up to Chris without any security blocking him, knowing what of the comments made and what was going on, certainly leaves a lot open to question. Whenever you have these prestigious events, there's always a high level of security who have to be ready at any winning moment to protect all of the actors from potentially getting assaulted if anybody walks on stage. So you mean to tell me that anybody watching the events play out and seeing Will Smith suddenly walk on stage wouldn't have had any kind of reaction or motion to at least go forward and try and prevent anything from happening on stage? I don't believe that would have been the case. I then look at Chris's reaction, and if you notice, he doesn't back away when Will walks up to him. He's very much stationary and very much relaxed for the most part, laughing all the way. And then when Will actually slaps him, if you notice, Chris doesn't actually flinch. He very much stays stationary. So if Will really wanted to strike him full on in the face, you would have seen a far more of a backward motion within Chris's position. So when you look at Will after he slaps him and walks away, Chris is actually quite composed afterwards, laughing it all off and then proceeding as normal to go through hosting the nominations for the award. Now realistically, Chris would have been far more in shock for a lot longer. He would have been very much searching for his words, trying to compose himself a lot longer, but if you look at the run of the events, he pretty much shrugs it off, he makes a couple of remarks and then carries on to hosting the event. And I just think Chris's reaction comes off as far too natural, so I truly believe that the event was completely staged, and whether it was real or not, it really reflects badly on everyone. I think it does taint Will's Oscar win overall. As we all know, he's been campaigning for many years throughout his various roles to try and win the Best Oscar award, to try and cement his reputation as one of the industry's most prolific actors. But as a result, as to what happened last night, nobody will be talking now about his award or indeed his performance. All they'll be talking about is him slapping Chris Rock. Now overall, many will perceive that this is a big publicity stunt. There'll be many that will also perceive the Oscars as desperate for ratings and also highlight the lack of security protocols at the time of the event. And I think the fact that Will still won the award also indicates the fact that the Oscars advocate violence. Now yes, we all know the awards are already decided before the event, and in a realistic situation, if there was a violent act on stage, they would have easily either postponed the award or given the award to one of the other nominees. Now some will argue that if indeed it was a stunt, that it did indeed have its desired effect, as many people are talking about this on social media, but when you think about it overall, despite the heavy traction that it did receive, it was only really in the short term, and it won't really garner any long-term sustained interest within the awards. So really it was all a farce overall, and for me, Will Smith didn't find any more atonement despite his long acceptance speech. So we'll see what happens in the long run. To be honest with you, in my personal opinion, I don't think anything happens, and indeed if nothing does happen, then 100% it was all a work. And since the fallout of this, it has been confirmed that Chris Rock will not be filing any assault charges against Will Smith. And shortly after the incident, the Academy Award did put out a very much of a corporate tweet stating that they don't advocate violence in any way, shape or form. Now to be honest, that just came across as really flat, given the fact that shortly after the incident you still gave the actor the award. So it kind of contradicts the overall message that they put out in their tweet. And as I said before, if they really wanted to emphasise their non-tolerance for this kind of thing, then they would have taken the award away from Will Smith. Now there are rumours suggesting that the award may indeed be taken away from Will Smith, but I'm not so sure. We'll wait and see what happens overall. I just think it was a bad night, and I think very unfortunate for Will Smith, tainting what should have been the biggest night of his career, and really bad for other people involved, as I think it really overshadowed the other winners on the night. So after all of that, then let's talk about more positivity and actually focus on the other winners throughout the event. So in terms of awards, the biggest winner for the night was Dune, which overall won 6 awards, and to be expected, these were all for the technical aspects, including the likes of visual effects, cinematography, production design, editing, sound and original score. Now there was some controversy surrounding the fact that director Denis Villeneuve and the fact that he wasn't nominated for Best Director, but to be honest with you, whilst I feel Dune was a decent film, it definitely wasn't worthy for Best Film. But despite that, I think it was a very good night for the movie, and it will definitely give Warner Brothers more confidence in the eventual sequel that we will see in the next upcoming years. Another big surprise was the Best Film category, which was won by Coda. This was the Apple-produced coming-of-age drama, which centred on a young teenager whose family was all suffering from deafness, and the struggles that she faced in being the only member within her family that was full of hearing. Now Coda managed to beat out the likes of the Western drama The Power of the Dog, and also the Netflix asteroid drama Don't Look Up, both of who were the main front runners for the Best Film category. Now Coda shared the special distinction of becoming the first movie by a streaming platform to win the award. It also won other awards for Best Supporting Actor. Troy Kotsur became the first deaf actor to win the award, and also won for Best Screenplay as well. Now overall, was this another diversity virtual signal from the awards? I can't say for sure, as I haven't watched the movie. The Academy has definitely been accused of virtual signalling in the past in terms of its awards, where we look at the likes of Nomadland and also Parasite as well. But despite all of this, I think it was a well-deserved win We then look at The Power of the Dog, which was the big favourite overall with 12 nominations, but sadly it only came away disappointingly with 1 award for Best Director. This went to Jane Campion, who overall became the 3rd woman to win the award for Best Director after Catherine Bigelow won for Hurt Locker in 2010 and Chloe Sowell won for Nomadland back in 2021. Jane Campion of course directed the Oscar-winning The Piano way back in the early 90s. Jessica Chastain won Best Actress for her role in The Eyes of Tommy Faye, beating out the likes of Kristen Stewart, who was the big favourite for her role as Princess Diana in Spencer. Ariana DeBose won for Best Supporting Actress for her role in West Side Story, which was the musical remake directed by Steven Spielberg. Billie Eilish won her first Oscar for Best Original Song for No Time to Die, the James Bond theme. And to be honest, I don't believe this was amongst the greatest of James Bond themes, but anyway, well done to Billie Eilish overall. Definitely one of the most prominent musical artists around today. Encanto won for Best Animated Feature, and also the Snyder fans would have been very happy to see his Army of the Dead zombie actioner win the Oscar for Best Fan Favourite Award, beating out the likes of Spider-Man No Way Home. Now to be honest, I've never been a fan of this category. I think it's overall just a popularity vote, and in many ways this is the Academy trying to include more mainstream movies when really they've been ignoring the mainstream films for so many years now for the main categories. And just a last mention of course to Samuel L. Jackson, who earlier on received his honorary Academy Award for a Lifetime Achievement. This he received on Friday when he received the award from Denzel Washington, very appropriate there. So I think a long overdue recognition for the huge amount of work and very much the lastability and longevity that Samuel L. Jackson has managed to achieve throughout his career now. At 73 years old, he still remains as prolific as ever, continuing to be very prominent within the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and we will shortly see him appear again in the Secret Invasion series, which will screen, of course, on Disney+. So that's it really in terms of my overall coverage of the 2022 Academy Awards. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Obviously, a lot of people will be talking about the Will Smith incident, so let me know what you think. Do you think that he was justified in his actions, or do you think there should be far more accountability and punishment as to what he did? Do you think Chris Rock was in the right or in the wrong? Do you think Will Smith should have his Oscar taken away from him? Do you think there'll be some sort of reconciliation between the two? Maybe there'll be a coming together in the next Academy Awards. Who knows, maybe they'll host an event together. Do you think this taints Will Smith's career overall? And do you think any action should be taken going forward to make sure that events like this don't happen again in the future? And if we are to believe, as what I believe, that this is all some sort of staged event, do you think it will have any lasting effect in really increasing the popularity of the Academy Awards? Do you think things are so far gone now that people don't really care about the Oscars in general? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Please also hit and like the subscription and notification buttons so I can provide you with more high quality content like this in the future. But that's it for now. Take care of yourselves, stay safe distances, and I will see you very, very soon.